Welcome to another Chef Knives to Go quick look product review. I'm Steve Gamache, and what we have this time is the Harukaze Aogami Super AS Santoku 170mm knife. So the way these are made is the three-layer construction, and so you've got a soft stainless steel cladding on either side of the hardcore cutting edge steel down the middle, and that cutting edge steel is what's known as Aogami or Blue Paper Super Reactive High Carbon Steel. Heat treats in the 63 Rockwell range. This steel is known to have some extra alloys in it, and it takes a very nice edge, but has higher edge retention than some of the other Aogami steels, and sharpens up actually quite well if you got decent stones. This is not difficult to sharpen at all. Takes a little bit longer than maybe a number 1 or number 2 Aogami, but you get the payback as edge retention, so it's a great kitchen knife steel. The weight and dimensions can vary a little bit from knife to knife, but this particular one is 135 grams or 4.8 ounces. Edge length is about 168 or about 6.6 inches, and then the overall length is about a little over 12.1 inches, 309 millimeters. Thickness-wise, it's about 2.3 millimeters thick at the back, and these will vary a little bit, but got about 2.1 halfway down in terms of the spine thickness, and it's a fairly stiff blade, and they don't have a lot of taper on this, as the spine thins out pretty much when you hit the grind, and there's not a definite line here with the grind, but a real nice gradual curve to the grind down towards the edge. You can kind of see that with the light reflecting here on that curve. So it's not like a delineated blade road line. And so it just kind of gradually thins out pretty nicely towards the tip. It's not super skinny, but thin enough to do quite well. And then here is the edge profile. So it's not super skinny either way, but it's got a good balance of performance. And then, let's see, blade height about 47 on this one. So you've got a fairly thin neck and lots of, clearance for cutting board for your fingers. The handles are just pretty good quality, standard, oval, ambidextrous, rosewood with the black packawood ferrule. Very nice fit and finish. It's super smooth all the way through this joint here between the two. Got a nice tight glue up where the tang goes into the handle. Just nicely done. And quality handle looks good. Circumference I got is around 72, 73 millimeter where the two materials meet. And then you've got a good curve here between the choil, the back of the blade, and the neck for your finger. And so there's a nice spot for a pinch grip. Balance point wise, it's not a big blade, so it's not particularly heavy. So that's going to bring the balance point back a little bit because rosewood's not the world's lightest, wood like a magnolia wood. So there is your balance point, which of course is a little bit behind a pinch grip, but it's still pretty neutral and nimble feeling on a pinch grip. Let's see, fit and finish wise, let's take a look here. These are nicely done. And there's our beauty shot. So what they've got is kind of a machine finish on vertical sanding strokes on each side of the blade, just pretty standard look to it. And then they've got hand engraved kanji, which again is becoming a little bit less common these days. So it's nice to see that. You can feel that when you put your fingers across it, and it's a very nice touch. So that's on the right side of the blade as you'd be holding it, using it. It's got a fairly light cladding line that will of course pop quite a bit since it's stainless cladding and reactive edge steel. That cladding line, that wavy line there, excuse me, as that edge steel starts to patina for you, it'll make that edge pop. It's going to look really cool if you let it go and get a patina on it. So the left side of the blade has some embossed kanji on it that's nicely done. It's got some kind of delicate texture to it. It's very well done, consistent, looks good. You've got nice fit and finish on these, so they've cleaned up the spine and got a little bit of relief on the corner, so it's very comfortable. They've done actually a lot of relief on the choil, the back of the blade, into the neck, so they've got a pretty big bevel on both sides. It almost comes to a point right here in the middle, so they've done a lot with the relief both righties and lefties. So I'm a lefty, so I appreciate that. Sometimes they don't always clean up that side of the knife, and they clean it up more for a right-hander. So a very nice fit and finish. Really good looking knife. Out of the box edge, I'd say about a 6 out of 10. And they are not bashful with the edge bevel. If you look at, see the best way I can get this here. If you look at that shiny part right there, that's the edge bevel. So they've got a fairly steep angle on that. Out of the box, you may choose to put a small bevel on top of that at a higher angle for a little bit more robust edge holding. But anyway, it is sharp out of the box. What else? Let's put it on the cutting board. So it's a very nice line of knives. Again, Aogami Super AS is a very, very good steel for kitchen knives. You get a good combination of edge retention with reasonable sharpening properties, and it will take a wicked sharp edge if you do your part. And that combination, if you've never had a knife with stainless cladding and then a nice, you know, kind of wavy cladding line and reactive steel at the bottom, it gives a really, really cool look once you get a patina going on that reactive cutting edge steel. It's just a good smooth edge profile. It's actually very, very smooth. It just kind of rolls down to the back. There's not a particularly flat area on here, but it's very well done and very smooth for rocking. This would be a pleasure to rock. It's not going to rock real high, but if you're doing low kind of stuff, smaller diameter things, it'll rock really nicely. It's very kind of just butter smooth here on the rock. But you could do a little chopping towards the back. Definitely these types of knives with the sheep's foot point on them typically are also good for tip draws, so you don't have to raise the knife too high, but they're awesome for tip draws through product like bell peppers and things. And so that's another nice way you can use the blade. So just a good all-around profile for a variety of techniques. Not a pure chopper, but a lot of times these are not. So there you have a good combination of features. This is the Harukaze Aogami Super Santoku 170mm knife.